Floyd! Floyd! I'll knock you out! He's sick, look at him.
Welcome to the motherfucking relay. We're covering today's top boxing news.
Okay, we'll start with this. When it rains, it pours. Floyd Mayweather's financial issues continue as he's hit with a lawsuit over the Tyson and Pacquiao bouts. The producer of two upcoming Floyd Mayweather fights filed a lawsuit in federal court Thursday, suing the star boxer for breach of contract while also attempting to stop his June 27th fight against Mike Zambidis next weekend in Greece. According to court records, CSI Sports Events alleges in the suit that Mayweather breached his contract with the company when he agreed to fight Zambidis. CSI was contracted to produce Mayweather's exhibition fight against Mike Tyson, as well as his professional bout against Manny Pacquiao later this year.
Were they not also involved with the Mike Zambidis fight? Why do they want to call that one off?
The suit filed in the Southern District of New York on Thursday asked the court to place a permanent injunction on Mayweather's fight against Zambidis because it breaches Mayweather's CSI deal. Judd Burstein, the attorney for CSI, told ESPN that he plans to file an emergency injunction application in federal court to try to stop the fight. CSI is asking for $6.65 million in restitution from Mayweather and Frist Apex Ventures, the codee in the case that CSI said acted as Mayweather's representative. Messages left with Mayweather's representation were not immediately returned to ESPN. The suit claims CSI and Frist Apex agreed to a deal on August 10th, 2025 for a Tyson versus Mayweather fight that would take place in the spring of this year.
Does that then mean that Floyd Mayweather himself is solely responsible for the Tyson fight that didn't happen?
The suit claims Frist Apex had the authority to enter the deal on Mayweather's behalf in a separate civil case. Mayweather is suing Frist Apex for aiding and abetting breach of fiduciary duty. The CSI suit claims it agreed to pay Mayweather $14 million to fight Tyson, including a $2 million advance. According to the suit, the parties had then signed a separate exclusive agreement in November of the previous year for his fight after Tyson, where Mayweather would receive $35 million if Pacquiao was the opponent and 20% of any pay-per-view revenue. If the fight ended up not on pay-per-view, Mayweather would receive a $50 million buyout. If Pacquiao were unavailable, Mayweather would fight a different opponent for $20 million, along with other bonuses.
A lot of if, and maybe money.
The suit then alleges Mayweather refused to tweet an announcement of his return to boxing in November of 2025 through his then business manager, Jonah Rechnitz, because he was in the process of selling those very same rights to a third party.
So is that the reason Floyd is now not fighting these people? Because if he does, he'll be jammed up even further and owe even more people more money?
CSI claims Mayweather entered into an agreement in December of 2025 with another company, Everwonder, for the Pacquiao fight on Netflix for $24 million, including $2.75 million advance and the potential for a $3.75 million bonus.
Only $24 million. I told you repeatedly, I told you he would not make for this rematch what he made for the first fight. $24 million sounds like a lot of money to regular Joes like me and you, but for Floyd Mayweather, who made well in excess of that with their initial meeting, that's a flat number.
CSI and Everwonder then began working out a solution to the potential Mayweather versus Pacquiao fight, according to the suit. "We were prepared to go forward," Burstein said. Tyson would go first and CSI would allow. Pacquiao was going to go forward in the fall in the Sphere, televised by Netflix, with CSI getting full billing rights. As part of CSI's deal with Everwonder, Frist Apex needed to repay in advance, and Mayweather agreed to give CSI exclusive rights to the fight after Pacquiao, Burstein said. Frist Apex never repaid the advance.
The money Floyd Mayweather borrowed against his purse.
Burstein said. As Everwonder negotiations took place, the suit claims CSI learned about a third fight agreement for Mayweather versus Zambidis. The suit claims that Zambidis' fight would violate CSI's exclusive rights with Mayweather. The suit claims Mayweather then changed business managers from Rechnitz to Walter Jordan, and that Jordan told CSI the Tyson fight would occur before the Zambidis fight. Mayweather then went through medical testing for the Tyson fight, according to the suit, and then asked for $150,000 in cash, which Burstein said CSI paid, and that Mayweather signed the receipt. The The following day, the suit alleges Mayweather announced he was fighting Zambidis despite CSI not agreeing to let that fight occur. Burstein said, in May, Tyson announced that he injured his hand and the scheduled May 30th fight needed to be postponed. The contract allowed for a 6-month time frame to reschedule the Tyson fight before an interim fight could be allowed. This also made the Zambidis fight Mayweather's return fight, which would also allegedly violate agreements with CSI. The suit claims Mayweather attempted to terminate his contract with CSI on June 9th after he allegedly breached the contract.
The CSI lawsuit is the latest in a litany of legal issues for Mayweather. He faces 2 felony charges for allegedly writing a bad check for a $200,000 watch in Las Vegas and has civil suits against him in 4 states with varying allegations, including non-payment for goods and services. He also has a $7.2 million IRS lien against him for unpaid taxes. As a plaintiff, Mayweather is suing Showtime, which used to televise his fights, for $340 million, along with the suit against the Rechnitz and Fritz Apex for $175 million, alleging fraud and aiding and abetting breach of fiduciary duty in both cases.
It sounds a lot like Floyd Mayweather jammed himself up by attempting to backdoor CSI with a third party, and thus he's not at liberty to have the fight with Tyson or have the fight with Pacquiao without incurring further debt.
So maybe that's why neither of those fights are happening, because Mayweather knows he's not at liberty to have those fights anymore.
Rapper 50 Cent boldly claimed in February of 2020 that Floyd Mayweather's money was all gone, believing Mayweather's got to return to the ring because of his lifestyle. Many initially dismissed it, but the statement now appears prophetic.
And how many times, in how many videos did I say here on the channel that the reason that Floyd Mayweather is scheduling exhibitions as often as he is, in spite of being retired, is because he has to. He has to maintain his lifestyle, to keep the money coming in, because he's burning it, he's burning through it, faster than he's bringing it in.
It isn't hard to figure out.
Guy's got the compulsive spending habits of a kid in a candy store.
For highlighting this, I was called out of my name more than once, called hater, called bigot.
Because Floyd is broke.
So if it feels like this story isn't being talked about enough in boxing circles, that's the why of it, because there's a lot of people out there that don't want to admit guys like me were right from the very beginning.
Floyd Mayweather himself, via his social media, seemingly responding to all these headlines about all this money that he now owes people, says, good press, bad press, facts or fiction, pick your poison. Every headline keeps my name in circulation.
Circulation of what?
And everything in motion. I appreciate it all. Keep the press coming.
It's like Floyd Mayweather's reading from an outdated script. It's not 2005, Floyd.
Any publicity is good publicity.
No, it isn't. Because now you don't even have fights to sell. So what is all the publicity for? How could it be a good thing for you that it's been made public how many people you owe money? It's not publicity if you don't have something to market, something to sell.
Doesn't he still have the Mike Zambidis fight?
Okay, then let me ask you a question. How likely are you to buy that fight based on how many people Floyd owes money?
Wait, what?
How likely are you to buy that fight based on how many people Floyd owes money?
Not likely at all.
Don't get too comfortable with the idea the Zambidis fight is even going to go through, because it might not. According to veteran boxing scribe Dan Raphael, CSI was okay with the exhibition as long as he fulfilled his other obligations to them, which he apparently is not doing. So you can be sure DAZN was notified of their rights because of the exhibition, which DAZN announced a week ago. It's now been deleted from their schedule. Floyd is fucking around and finding out. Besides DAZN dropping the Floyd vs. Zambidis exhibition from its schedule because it doesn't want any legal hassles from CSI, I am told that Ticketmaster is also no longer doing tickets for the event after also being put on notice by CSI. If you can't sell tickets and don't have a broadcaster, that seems problematic.
That seems enough that the whole thing might get called off, because you can't make any money from it. You don't have anyone to distribute the pay-per-view, and you can't sell any tickets for people to be there.
That's on top of happening the same day as yet another major fight in the sport, the Boots vs. Zayas fight, which I already told you If you're a hardcore boxing fan, and you're in the market for a boxing match on the 27th, I'd sooner expect you to buy Boots versus Zayas than an exhibition between Mayweather and a kickboxer.
Who the fuck wants to see that?
So stated, Floyd Mayweather spouting tired old cliches in spite of his mounting debt and legal troubles will not suffice as any explanation or consolation for the hard time that he's going through. When it rains, it pours.
There's a cliche for you.
It's like Floyd Mayweather is reading from an outdated script while wearing an outdated wardrobe, still trying to woo the world with how much money he supposedly has.
It's cringe.
When you're young and you're starting out and you're coming into vast sums of cash for the very first time, frivolous spending is a given. It's almost forgivable, as that's what most young people are going to do in that situation. But for a man who's been around as much money as Floyd has, for as long as he's been around that money and making it, you would have expected better from a man close to 50 years old.
Money Man is back, and you know, it's all about the giveaways now. All my fans and all the people that's been a part of this giveaways, they've been loving the gloves. As you guys can see, I got the gloves right here. And it's official. Now what I need you guys to do to be that lucky winner, not just for the gloves, but we got other gifts. So what I need you guys to do is follow all the instructions down low and be that lucky winner. And also slide over so you can get some other gifts. You're here in front of one and only Floyd Money Mayweather. Be that lucky winner. It's all about the giveaways. Let you people know it's official. I'm at my home, as you guys can see. You know, I couldn't have this without your support, without the fans.
Speaking of fans, I'm of the opinion that Floyd Mayweather didn't actually have that many, which might seem like a bit of a hot take given how successful his pay-per-views were and how many followers he has on his social media. What do you mean he never had that many fans?
If you were actually around for Floyd Mayweather's heyday, you'll know that he was a polarizing figure. He might have been loved by some, but he was very much hated by others.
And still is.
When telling the story of Floyd Mayweather's pay-per-view success, they tell the story as if it was Floyd Mayweather alone people were paying to see. When he was fortunate enough to be in an era with many box office draws, it wasn't just him selling those fights.
Those fighters that he fought had fans too, that also purchased those pay-per-views to see them. You're talking about Oscar De La Hoya. You're talking about Juan Manuel Marquez, Manny Pacquiao, Canelo, even Shane Mosley.
Even Miguel Cotto.
The point being, Floyd didn't actually have that many supporters or that many fans, because if he did, he could have parlayed that into a major brand deal.
Do you see what he's doing? He's doing giveaways.
If Floyd Mayweather actually had that many fans, he could have parlayed that into being a brand ambassador for some major company, but all the years following his retirement,
His name as a brand didn't seem to yield much value.
Mayweather franchise boxing gyms never really took off. His strip joint,
Girl collection.
can't say that really took off either, and it's because Mayweather's name doesn't have the same value as, say, Mike Tyson's or Muhammad Ali's.
Mike Tyson, like Floyd Mayweather, lost it all, but was able to get it all back and then some because of his residual name value long after he retired, whereas Floyd...
Well, Floyd is not as beloved a fixture in the sport as Mike Tyson. What he was more known for was the money that he generated, all of the success that he had on pay-per-view, but you can't conclusively say that Floyd Mayweather as a boxer is as loved or as respected as a Mike Tyson. And that's why Floyd didn't get to parlay his name value into movie
cameos and movie spots like Mike Tyson did. In case you're not aware, Mike Tyson has made appearances in a good number of films.
He was in fucking It Man.
Why wasn't Floyd ever used for movie spots like Mike was? And it's because Floyd Mayweather was never as loved or respected as Mike.
So now he's fallen on hard times doing these very awkward giveaways via his social media, and I know what stress looks like. I can see it on his face, I can hear it on his voice.
Still wearing that useless fucking jewelry.
That if Floyd Mayweather actually had any name value following his retirement, he would have been able to live off of commercial spots and movie cameos, things of that nature, to keep the money coming in to continue to finance his lavish lifestyle. The fact he had to resort to exhibitions and basically going back to fighting, it's like he never retired.
He never really stopped fighting.
Given how many people he owes money, The $24 million he stood to make from the Pacquiao fight would not have been enough to get him out of debt because remember, he owes $7 million to the IRS alone.
I mean, remember, you've got to pay taxes on the $24 million, so you're not going to get all 24 of it. After you pay those taxes, you then have to pay the back taxes that you owe the IRS.
Said it weeks ago, based on how many people he owes money, it's gonna eat up his fight purse for the Pacquiao fight and whatever other fights he has.
$24 million for the Pacquiao fight, an estimated $14 million for the Tyson fight, supposedly.
Even if he would have got to have the both of those fights alongside the Mike Zambidis exhibition, it looks like that wouldn't be enough to keep him afloat. Not for long. He would still have to keep fighting after that.
As his name value has greatly diminished.
And you're thinking to yourself, what do you mean diminished? Weren't they about to pay him $24 million for a rematch with Manny?
$24 million is actually not a lot. For the kind of money that Floyd Mayweather generated in his prime, $24 million is a drop in the bucket, especially for him and what are his spending habits and his debts.
$24 million is nothing.
His name value has diminished. His trusted circle of advisors has changed repeatedly over time, from Al Heyman to Jonah Rechnitz
To now Walter Jordan? I don't even know who the fuck that guy is.
Floyd Mayweather was never a good ambassador for the sport, in spite of how successful he was within it, and thus, he was never selected as an ambassador for anything else, which could have serviced as residual revenue, residual income he could have lived off of in his retirement.
Technically, he never retired.
He never really stopped selling you boxing matches. All that changed was the kind of boxing matches he was selling you. Professional boxing matches to circus fights and exhibitions. But he's still selling you fights.
Because he has to.
Though now you've got to wonder, is he even going to fight next weekend? Given everything that's now going on, will the Mike Zambidis exhibition go through?
Well, even if it did, a lot of people weren't going to buy that fight. I told you, it's happening the same day as Jaron Ennis versus Ender Zayas. Which one of those two pay-per-views do you think boxing fans were going to pay for?
When it rains, it pours.
Floyd Mayweather was a fraud. He was never the business mogul. They made him out to be the financially savvy guru.
All bullshit.
The real estate mogul, the commercial entrepreneur.
All bullshit.
All of it. Floyd Mayweather, in the end, was just another dumb boxer with more money than he knew what to do with.